Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about unconscious minds.
This is published by Lucky Duck Games, and this is designed by Yoma, Zax, Laskus, and Johnny Pack, and the art is by Vincent Dutray, and it is looking good. Alright, so overall, this takes place in the time of Sigmund Freud. We are all his buddies, and we are basically trying to work on the field of psychoanalysis. Alright, so in this game, basically, it is a worker placement style game, kind of with a twist, where we are laying down our kind of ideas down on this table, and we're using our ideas as the kind of the workers that we're using to draft these different actions. The actions could be to add tiles to our board to give us special abilities. They could be to manipulate the board over here, the city board, with all these different districts that we can activate and locations that we can activate. There's also all these opportunities to move around that board as well. There's a lot of different actions you can take, and you can only take one each. You can only take that same action once every round before you have to kind of recall all of your actions and kind of start all over again fresh. Some actions you can take once or even twice if you use either your own ideas or even some great ideas in the form of these light bulb tokens that you're going to get. The whole thing is kind of fueled by coffee, as you can imagine. These intellects are going to need a lot of coffee to stay up late as they're taking all their actions. There's these heart-shaped boxes that you're going to be getting. You're kind of using those to kind of manipulate the board in various ways and give you benefits. But the main thing you're trying to do here is you're really trying to help your clients. You're trying to help your clients interpret their dreams. So every time you draft a new client, that client's also going to have some kind of trauma or some kind of thing that they need to get through, have a breakthrough about. And as well, they're going to have two dreams that you're going to have to work through as well. Those dreams are going to be allowed to kind of break through those walls, have these psychiatric moments where you're going to be able to help your patrons.
Yaha!
Exactly. As they're lying on their couch, pouring their hearts out to you, telling you their dreams and all of those kinds of things. All right, so that's the main point of the way. The main way you're going to get your points is by working with your patients, by working with your clients, working through their dreams, things like that. Every time you finish one, you automatically get to draft a new one, and then you're going to get a couple new dreams to go with that client as well. And the dream artwork, again, it shines. All right, so as you're kind of going through this, you're in your society, your own reputation is going up, but also because you're kind of working with Freud's reputation is going up. That's ultimately the game and trigger. As soon as Freud's reputation gets to its maximum, that's going to trigger the end of the game, and you're going to count up all the points you've earned from all your different sources. Also, your clients are going to give you some game end bonuses. Other clients are going to give you kind of special abilities throughout the course of the game, and all of that, whoever has the most points wins the game.
This is a game that's really about the clients. Like, you look at it all spread out. There's all these books that you can do. There's that action board. There's the clients and the dreams. There's the city. There's just all this stuff. And then there's your own player board, and there's your clients, and then there's the insight dial. And there's like just a ton of stuff to look at. So I found, and I think it helps, the game is really about the client. So if you just focus on your client, and you just focus on helping your client, you're really going to understand what's going on, and it's going to give you the direction to go in the game. You're not going to try to do all these other weird things because you're going to be focusing on your client, and that's going to tell you how you're going to play this game.
I really like the kind of the action selection board, using those little speech bubbles that are your ideas and kind of aiming them at what action you're going to be taking. It's a really cool mechanism, and it's kind of this board laid out. It scales really well for 2, 3, and 4 players. As you're playing, you can only use each one of those once. Once you have a speech bubble aimed at it, you can't take it again. So to kind of be careful about the timing of when you take certain things, because once you take it, you can't take it again that round. But if you don't take it soon enough, all the spots pointing to it might be gone, depending on what everybody else is going for. All the actions are valuable. They are based off your strategy. They kind of are maybe more or less impactful at various stages in the game. Building up your own personal player board is really important, because on your turn, first you're going to take an action, then you're going to do whatever it says, then you're going to move an ink pot around this little chart over on the side, and that's going to give you kind of a bonus kind of production action as well at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
So building up that kind of that tableau of the bonus production actions is really, really beneficial. So it scales really well. It's an interesting take on worker placement. I like how you can do things once or even twice based off of how many of those little ideas you have. I like that a lot.
The insight dial seemed really difficult at first. You are just trying to manipulate this in order to get insights at certain levels in order to help your clients to make sense of those dreams. And sometimes it's like how am I even going to get more? It's not so much about moving them around. There's ways to manipulate that, but the game gives you all these ways to do these things. Like the first time we played, we missed a lot of ways for us to help ourselves. We handicapped ourselves in this game unintentionally because we just made it harder for us because we didn't do all of that. So when you see that, just remember when you look at your own player board, there's ways to manipulate that. There's things you can do. There's just a lot of ways to be able to manipulate that. You just gotta look for them. They exist. It's okay. You can do this. You can help your client.
All right, so this game has a pretty significant ramp up as the game goes on. It's got a kind of a light engine building thing going on. So at the beginning of the game, when you're taking actions, it's pretty simple action. You're just doing one small little thing and maybe a little bit of a small income on your insight dial. And then by the end of the game, you're doing something and it's cascading into doing something else, doing something else, doing something else, doing something else, and then you get a whole bunch of income that does more stuff, and you're set up and ready to go. So there's a significant ramp up. There's really only 3 action options that you have in your turn. You're either A, putting down one of your ideas, or you're recalling all of the ideas that you've placed over the course of that round. So maybe, you've placed 1, 2, 3 different actions, and then you decide to pick them all up and put new stuff down later on. And the third thing is, of course, treating your client. And even treating your clients, even that has some cascading events sometimes. Some point opportunities, some ways that you can activate by taking off those, I can't remember what it's called, those clear cards, those trauma cards. What are those? Yes. Catharsis. Yes. Those catharsis cards, once you're able to take those off, it's going to trigger some extra abilities and little tags as well. So everything you do has this ramping up, this kind of growing and getting stronger and stronger and better as the game goes on. And then the game ends.
Yes. I do want to say that the first time you play this game, I would actually just immediately play it again. There were so many cracks that we did not fill, so many things that we just, we did A, B, and we didn't do C the first time we played just because we didn't see it. We didn't, see the things that the game was giving us. We didn't follow the flow. It wasn't that we were unintentionally breaking rules. It's that, the game was helping us and we weren't letting it. And so I would just play this back to back. There's so many little nooks and crannies that are happening that you really just want to do that. Not even to solidify the rules, but to understand how everything actually goes together.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big one. It's easy to miss little things because of just how much is going on. I think part of that is due to the fact that it's just a very busy table presence.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many little things to be focusing on. You have your eyes over here. You've got your own little insight board.
You almost need a TV tray for your own stuff. Yeah. And then everything else would be in the middle. All
the different rows of cards that you're drafting and all the different treaties. There's these books that you can build. There's just all the different factions of the board. You're looking everywhere, always, and just kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point. If you can play it within a reasonable short amount of time, I think it's going to help because there's just so much to see, easy to miss things.
I obviously enjoyed this game because it made it to my top 10 of 2024.
Spoiler alert.
I really liked it. It was so weird, but in a fun way. I wasn't frustrated. I just wanted to know how I could do these things. How am I going to figure this out? How am I going to move the pot? And I don't want to move it all the way. I'm going to spend a coffee, or maybe it was a light bulb. So it doesn't do what I want it to do, or so it goes further than I wanted to do. Oh my gosh, I accidentally landed on the Freud spot again, and I didn't want to do that. There were so many things in this game that I really enjoyed. The artwork was awesome. I intentionally drafted dream cards because of the artwork. Eventually, I started looking for symbols, but I really just wanted the certain artwork to work with it, and I didn't realize it was Vincent Dutray at first. And I asked Ryan, and I don't always mention the art while we're playing a game, but I was like, was this just one person? Because there's so much here.
I think there is 2 artists, but yeah, Vincent Dutray is definitely prominent. You can tell he's got a style.
Yeah, it was just yes. It was yes.
So yeah, spoiler alert, stay tuned for our top 10 games of 2024 coming out soon. We tend to do it later on in the year just because we have, we want to make sure we get a lot of cool games in, like this one that we would have maybe missed otherwise if we'd recorded back in the end of December or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so I agree. This is a game that is heavy in rules. It really is a heavy rules teach. When I sat down and laid it all out and punched it took me an hour to punch everything out and kind of sort it. When we were actually teaching the rules and learning it cold from the rule book, it was about 2 hours. which is
Yeah.
less than the gameplay itself for us. But the rulebook was organized actually very, very well in a way that was extremely helpful, easy to make me learn the game for as big of a game as it was. I really appreciated that. So the big front load of information, you are just kind of got an absolute deluge of information coming at you as you're learning this game. But you know what? It's worth it. It's really, really satisfying. And this is the kind of game that it's the keeper for our shelf. We don't keep a lot of games these days just because shelf space is limited.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're keeping this, it says a lot.
We're
both
not
really
collectors.
Like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good one. I highly recommend it if you like those kind of bigger, more involved Euros and you have the time just to sit and enjoy it. I think you're really going to enjoy this one.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see all our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye. You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.